Alright, picture this. You're at a gas station, digging through your pocket for exact change. You pull out a handful of pennies, and one catches your eye. It looks normal, just another Abraham Lincoln penny. You toss it on the counter without a second thought. But what if I told you that tiny little coin could be worth $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Nothing fancy. No silver, no gold, no diamonds embedded in Lincoln's beard. Just a regular OL penny that happens to be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving into why this penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and most importantly, how to make sure you don't accidentally spend $1 million coin on a pack of gum. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself rummaging through every coin jar in the house. Now, let's start with the basics. Why in the world would a 2013 penny, something that was minted by the billions, be worth over $1 million? It all comes down to rarity and error. You see, most 2013 pennies have a small letter under the date, a D for Denver, or a P for Philadelphia. But every now and then, the mint makes a mistake, and a batch gets released without that little letter. At first glance, it looks completely normal. But coin collectors? Oh, they go absolutely wild for these kinds of things, and when collectors want something, prices skyrocket. We're talking from 1 cent to over $1 million. Imagine trying to explain that to someone who doesn't collect coins. Now, the reason this particular no mint mark penny is so valuable is that very few of them were made. Some experts believe they were test coins that accidentally got into circulation. Others think they were the result of a minting machine error. Either way, there aren't many out there, and that's what makes them so ridiculously valuable. Okay, so let's talk about how you can actually find one. First, grab a magnifying glass. Or, if you don't have one, just do what I do: squint really hard and hope for the best. Check the date on your penny, 2013. Now look underneath it. If there's no mint mark, congratulations. You might be holding a goldmine. But before you start planning that dream vacation, there are a few things you need to check. Condition is everything. A beat-up penny that's been through the washing machine a few times? Probably not worth much. But if it's in mint condition, meaning it looks brand new, then you've hit the jackpot. The highest prices always go to coins that are in pristine shape. Now, let me tell you a quick personal story. A few months ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his old desk drawer. He had this little tin full of pennies. I started flipping through them, not really expecting much, and boom, there it was. A 2013 penny with no mint mark. My heart nearly stopped. I grabbed my phone, started researching, and for about 5 minutes, I thought I had just become a millionaire. Well, turns out it was just a regular no mint mark penny, not one of the rare error versions. So, lesson learned: just because it looks rare doesn't mean it is. That's why getting your coins professionally appraised is crucial. Now, let's talk about where to sell it if you do find one. The best places are online auction sites, coin shows, or professional coin dealers. If you've got one of these rare pennies, collectors will be lining up to make you an offer. Just be sure to get a second opinion before selling, because you don't want to be that person who sells $1 million coin for $100, right? So, there you have it. A 2013 no mint mark penny could be hiding in your change, waiting to change your life. The key is knowing what to look for, checking the condition, and getting it professionally appraised. And hey, even if you don't find a rare one today, don't worry, there are tons of other valuable coins out there just waiting to be discovered. Who knows? Maybe the next time you check your pocket change, you'll strike gold. If you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe for more tips on valuable coins, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin before. Trust me, you won't want to miss my next video. It might just help you turn spare change into serious cash. Hey, everyone! Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change for a vending machine snack, and bam! You find a penny. Just another ordinary, brown, little coin, right? But what if I told you that tiny piece of metal could be worth, wait for it, $1.2 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A simple 1996 D Lincoln penny, a coin you probably have lying around somewhere, could be hiding a fortune. And today, we're diving into why some of these pennies are selling for an insane amount of money. So, before you go dumping your pennies in that take a penny leave a penny tray at the gas station, sit tight, because you might just be sitting on a goldmine. Now, I know what you're thinking, 1996? That's not even that old. What could possibly make this little coin worth a jaw-dropping $1.20 million? Well, first off, let's break it down. The D mint mark means this penny was minted in Denver. In 1996, the US Mint cranked out billions, yes, billions, of these pennies. So, why is this one so special? The answer is simple: rare errors and varieties. And if there's one thing collectors love more than shiny coins, it's mistakes. Alright, let's talk errors. Because without these little quirks, your 1996 D penny is, well, just a penny. This is a fancy way of saying the design was stamped twice, creating a slightly overlapping or blurred effect. Look closely at Lincoln's face, his bow tie, or even the letters Liberty and In God We Trust. If they look a little off, congrats, you might be holding a valuable coin. Ever seen a coin where the design is a little off? Like Lincoln's face is trying to run off the edge of the coin? That's an off-center strike. The more off-center, the rarer it is, especially if you can still see the full date. Okay, this one's wild. Some 1996 D pennies were accidentally struck on nickel or dime planchets, meaning they're the wrong size or color. If your penny looks silverish, thinner, or just weird, get it checked ASAP. Coins lose their shine over time, but if you've got a 1996 D penny in pristine, bright red condition, it could be worth thousands, even without an error. Collectors love high-grade pennies, and a perfect one can fetch crazy money at auctions. And now, here's where things get juicy. A collector recently paid over $1.2 million for a rare, mint condition 1996 D penny with multiple errors, including a double die and an off-center strike. Can you imagine finding $1 million penny just chilling in your piggy bank? I actually have a story about this. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, was going through some old change, hoping to scrape together enough for a coffee. He spots a weird-looking penny, Googles it, and boom, finds out it might be worth something. He gets it graded, and while it wasn't $1 million coin, he still sold it for $5,000. That's a lot of coffee, alright, folks. Here's the deal: before you toss that 1996 D penny back into circulation, take a second to examine it. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, weird colors, or a super shiny finish. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, and turn on notifications. I've got tons of crazy coin facts coming your way, because trust me, there are way more valuable pennies out there than you think. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Have you ever emptied your pocket, glanced at your loose change, and thought, nah, nothing special here? Well, think again. Because buried in that pile of pennies could be a 1996 D Lincoln penny worth, brace yourself, a whopping $1.20 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent. The coin you flick into a tip jar without thinking could actually be worth enough to buy you a house, a fancy sports car, and still have change for a vacation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait, what? A 1996 D penny? Isn't that just regular pocket change? Well, my friend, not all pennies are created equal. Today, we're diving deep into the surprising value of this tiny copper masterpiece, how to tell if you have one, and why it's making collectors go absolutely bananas. Stick around because you won't want to miss this. By the end of this video, you'll be checking your piggy bank, couch cushions, and even that secret stash of pennies in your car's cup holder. So, first things first, what makes this particular penny so valuable? I mean, there are literally millions of them out there, right? True, but rarity plus demand plus errors equals big money. Some of these pennies were struck with errors that make them insanely rare. We're talking things like, this means the design was stamped twice, causing a noticeable doubling effect. If Lincoln looks like he's had one too many cups of coffee and is slightly shaking, you might be in luck. If your penny looks like the design is sliding off the edge, that's a good thing. Cha-ching. Some rare variations of the 1996 D penny exist without the D mint mark. That's a big deal. Now, if you're holding a normal 1996 D penny, don't toss it out just yet. Even well-preserved, high-grade versions can still fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Alright, so you're now frantically digging through your coin jar. Good. But before you start planning your luxury vacation, let's talk about how to check if your penny is the real deal. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature. You want to look for, if Lincoln's face looks slightly distorted or doubled, you may have a rare one. If your penny looks fresh out of the mint, with no scratches or wear, that's a good sign. High-grade coins get the big money. A normal penny weighs 2.5 grams, but rare errors may have a slightly different weight due to unique metal compositions, and if you think you've got something special, don't clean it. Cleaning coins can actually decrease their value. Instead, store it safely and get it checked by a professional coin grader. Okay, so funny story, a few years back, my grandma gave me a jar full of pennies. At first, I rolled my eyes. Gee, thanks, Grandma. A lifetime supply of 1-cent coins. But guess what? After sorting through them, I actually found an error penny worth $500. No joke. I was this close to using that penny to buy gum. Instead, it helped me buy my first real coin collection book. So why is the 1996 D Lincoln penny worth up to $1.2 million today? Well, like any collectible, demand drives price. There's a whole underground world of people willing to pay top dollar for these coins. Some of these pennies have sold for record-breaking prices at auctions, especially if they're in top condition. The rare error versions? There aren't many left, and the fewer there are, the higher the price climbs. Seriously, some people spend years hunting for one of these. Imagine finding one by accident in your change. Now that's a Cinderella story. Alright, folks, let's recap. The 1996 D Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.2 million if you find the right one with an error or in pristine condition. So, next time you get change at a store, don't just shove it in your pocket, take a good look. And now, I have a challenge for you. Go check your pennies. Right now. Who knows? You might be sitting on a goldmine. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more coin hunting tips, crazy valuable finds, and ways to turn your pocket change into real cash. And if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Hey, coin hunters! Have you ever checked your pocket change and wondered, what if one of these pennies is actually worth a fortune? Well, today, we're diving into a coin that might just make you rethink every cent you've ever spent, the 1978 D Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A simple little penny from 1978 with a tiny D mint mark under the date has been turning heads in the coin collecting world. Some rare versions of this coin have fetched as much as $1.3 million. I know, crazy, right? That's like finding a winning lottery ticket in your couch cushions, but what makes this penny so valuable? What should you be looking for? And most importantly, do you have one of these million-dollar beauties sitting in a jar somewhere? Stick around, because we're breaking it all down in this video. First, let's talk about why this coin exists. In 1978, the Denver Mint produced millions of these pennies. Most of them are just regular old pennies, worth, you guessed it, 1 cent. But every now and then, a rare error or a unique characteristic can skyrocket a coin's value. The key here is errors and special varieties. Mistakes at the mint equals big money for collectors. It's kind of like finding a misprinted baseball card, except, instead of sitting in a shoebox for years, this one might actually buy you a house. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. What makes a 1978 D Lincoln penny worth over $1 million? Here are a few things that could make your penny a jackpot winner. This means the design, especially Lincoln's face or the lettering, was stamped twice by accident, creating a noticeable doubling effect. If your penny looks like it was printed at a weird angle, leaving a blank spot on one side, that could be a rare error worth serious cash. If the rim looks too smooth or stretched out, it might be a broad strike error, which collectors love. If your 1978 D penny looks fresh out of the mint, with sharp details and a bright shine, it could be worth thousands even without an error. So, how do you check if your pocket change is hiding a secret treasure? Here's what you do: grab a magnifying glass. Yes, this is your detective moment. Look closely at Lincoln's face, the date, and the D mint mark. Any doubling? Any misalignments? If it looks suspiciously different from a regular penny, it might be time to get it professionally graded. Professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin, giving you an official value. If your penny is rare, this is the step that turns it from cool find to life-changing money. Let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, let's call him Mike, used to laugh at me for checking my pennies all the time. He'd roll his eyes every time I pulled out a magnifying glass at a restaurant. One day, we were at a gas station, and he got some change back, a few dimes, a nickel, and a really nice-looking penny. Just for fun, I grabbed it and took a closer look. Lo and behold, it was a 1969's double-die penny, worth thousands. Mike nearly fainted. He thought I was joking until he sold it for over $35,000. And guess what? Now, he checks every single penny he gets. So let's say you hit the jackpot, you find a rare 1978 penny. What next? Heritage auctions, Stacksbowers, and great collections are great places to sell rare coins for top dollar. eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and specialized coin forums are good, but be cautious of scammers. Find a reputable dealer near you for a quick appraisal. Alright, folks, who's running to check their piggy banks right now? If you've got a 1978 Lincoln penny, give it a good look. You might just be holding onto $1 million mistake. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more coin tips, treasure hunting stories, and money-making strategies. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and treasure hunters? Imagine this, you're digging through your pocket change, pulling out some old pennies, and boom, you realize that one tiny coin could be worth $1.40 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, something that most people wouldn't even give a second look, could be hiding in plain sight and be worth an absolute fortune. But why is this penny so special? What makes it worth more than a mansion, a sports car, or a lifetime supply of tacos? Well, stick around because today, we're diving into the shocking value of the 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you might already have one sitting in a jar of spare change. Most 1971 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, mint pennies have their little mint marks under the year. But Philadelphia? Nah, they like to keep it simple, no mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, wait, doesn't that mean all 1971 pennies from Philly don't have a mint mark? Yes. And that's what makes this so crazy. The key to value here isn't just the missing mint mark, it's the condition and errors that make it rare. So, why is this particular penny worth $1.4 million? It's not just any old 1971 penny, there are a few very rare mistakes that make it crazy valuable. This is the big one. If you have a 1971 no-mint mark penny with a double image on Lincoln's face, the date, or the words "In God We Trust," congratulations. You just hit the coin collector's jackpot. Coins graded MS67 or higher, meaning they're in ridiculously perfect shape, can fetch insane amounts of money. Think about it, most pennies get scratched, dirty, and thrown around. But if yours somehow survived without a scratch, it's rare. If your 1971 penny looks a little wonky, like the design is off-center or the edges are thicker on one side, that could mean extra value. Collectors love weird coins. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at my grandma's house, helping her clean out some old drawers. She had this huge, dusty jar of pennies, like hundreds of them. She told me, "Go ahead, take some for parking meters." I wasn't even thinking about valuable coins at the time, but I figured, why not? So I grabbed a handful, tossed them in my car, and didn't think twice. Fast forward a few months, I'm at a gas station, and I need exact change. I dig into my cup holder, pull out a penny, and something about it just looks different. It was a 1971 no-mint mark penny with a slight doubling on the lettering. At that moment, I remembered reading about valuable coins, so I held onto it instead of spending it. Turns out, it was worth over $5,000, not quite the $1 million version, but still $5,000 from a jar of pennies? Imagine if I had spent it on gum. Alright, let's talk numbers. The 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in regular condition? Probably worth 1 cent. Maybe a couple of bucks if it's nice, but the ultra-rare MS67 plus grade with the double die error? That's where things get wild. In recent auctions, these pennies have fetched over $1.4 million because collectors will pay top dollar for the rarest, best condition coins. Always check for errors, and if your penny looks super clean, consider getting it graded. Do the words "Liberty" or "In God We Trust" look doubled? If it looks fresh out of the mint, it could be valuable. Seriously, a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help you spot tiny details you'd never notice with the naked eye. Look at auction sites like Heritage Auctions or PCGS to see what similar pennies are selling for. If you think you have the $1 million penny, get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The 1971 no-mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth up to $1.4 million if it has the right error and condition. And here's the thing, this is just one of many rare pennies floating around out there. If you're into collecting, or just love the idea of making money from everyday coins, hit that subscribe button. I post videos on rare and valuable coins, how to spot hidden treasures, and tips on turning your spare change into serious cash. Don't miss out, you never know which coin might be your next big payday. Alright, that's it for today. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're about to go dig through your couch cushions. See you in the next one, happy hunting! Hey there, coin lovers! Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, meh, just another penny? Well, hold on to your seats because today, we're talking about a penny that could turn you into a millionaire. That's right, the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is out there, and one of these little guys has a jaw-dropping value of $1.50 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A single 1-cent coin could be worth more than a luxury sports car, a beach house, or even your entire student loan debt. And the best part? It could be sitting in your couch cushions, car cup holder, or even in that random jar of change you've been ignoring for years. So today, we're diving into why this penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can tell if you have one. Plus, I'll share a personal story that will make you never overlook another penny again. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around because this might just be the most exciting penny talk of your life. Alright, let's break it down. The 1989 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that you'd think is totally ordinary. It's got good old Abe Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Nothing too crazy, right? What makes this penny worth $1.5 million is the fact that it's missing something very important, the mint mark. Normally, pennies from 1989 were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S, if it was a proof coin. But a rare batch of these Philadelphia pennies were struck differently, leading to an extremely valuable error. If there's no little letter under the year, you might be in luck. The most valuable versions of this penny have crisp features, especially on Lincoln's hair and the details of the memorial. Look for strange doubling on the lettering or Lincoln's face, these can make the coin even rarer, and if you do find one that seems promising, don't just start spending it on vending machines. Get it checked by a professional coin grader because condition matters big time when it comes to value. Now, let me tell you a story that still haunts me to this day. A few years ago, I was sorting through a jar of pennies, just minding my business, when I found this really shiny, perfect-looking 1989 penny. I remember thinking, this one looks kinda cool, but I was in a rush, so I just threw it back in the jar and went about my day. Fast forward a year later, I'm reading about the $1 million 1989 penny, and my heart drops. I race to the jar, frantically digging through every single penny like a maniac. But guess what? I had probably spent it on a bag of chips or a gas station coffee. That one careless moment could have cost me $1.5 million. And that, my friends, is why I triple-check every penny I come across now. Now, you might be wondering, why would someone pay $1.5 million for a penny? Well, it's all about rarity and demand. Coin collectors, aka the real-life treasure hunters of the world, are always looking for these rare mistakes because they tell a unique story about how money is made. The rarer the mistake, the more valuable the coin. And since hardly any of these 1989 error pennies exist, the price skyrockets. Okay, let's say you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies. Here's your game plan: cleaning a coin can actually lower its value. Just leave it as is. Compare it with photos of known error pennies. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. High-value coins sell best at major auctions or through trusted coin dealers, and hey, even if you don't find the $1.5 million version, some 1989 pennies with minor errors still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So it's always worth checking. So, the next time you see a penny on the ground, think twice before walking past it. It could literally be your golden ticket to riches, and if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, hidden treasures in your pocket change, and strategies to find rare money, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare or valuable coin? Let's swap treasure hunting stories. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and curious minds? Imagine this: you're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter to feed the vending machine, and instead, you stumble upon a penny. Nothing special, right? Just another Lincoln cent. But what if I told you that one of these little copper coins from 2016, without a mint mark, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.60 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny that could buy you a house, a dream car, or maybe even your own island. Okay, maybe a really small island, but still. So today, we're diving deep into this insane discovery. How did a 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny become one of the most valuable coins out there? What makes it so special? And most importantly, how can you find one? Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be checking every penny you come across, and who knows? You might just strike it rich. For those new to coin collecting, mint marks tell us where a coin was made. You'll usually see a little D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if a penny doesn't have a mint mark, it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so it's a regular penny. What's the big deal? Well, not so fast. The 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny that's worth millions isn't just any ordinary penny. It's a rare error coin, one that should never have made it into circulation. Coin errors are like typos in a book, except instead of embarrassing the author, they can make a coin ridiculously valuable. The 2016 Lincoln penny in question has a few crazy errors that make it a collector's dream. This means parts of Lincoln's face, the lettering, or even the date may appear doubled. It's like looking at a 3D movie without the glasses. Trippy, right? Some of these valuable pennies were struck slightly off-center, meaning part of the design is missing or shifted. Imagine a printer running out of alignment, except this mistake is worth millions. Okay, this one is wild. Some of these pennies were accidentally struck on silver planchets, the blank metal discs used to make coins, making them appear lighter and shinier than usual. Since pennies are supposed to be copper-plated zinc, this mistake is huge. And now, let me tell you about a time I almost found a valuable penny. Back in 2018, I was at a gas station buying a soda. I got my change and noticed a weird-looking penny, no mint mark, slightly shinier than the others. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? I rushed home, pulled out my magnifying glass like some detective in a mystery movie, and examined the coin under bright light. Turns out, it was just a regular penny with some dirt on it. Devastating. Absolutely heartbreaking. I even Googled, can a penny look silver because of too much soap? Turns out, yes. Someone probably just cleaned it too much, but hey, that experience taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your coins because one day, it could be the jackpot. Now that we know what makes this penny special, how can you find one? Here's what to do. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. If the text or Lincoln's face looks shadowed or doubled, you might be onto something. A regular 2016 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you could have a rare planchet error. If they seem silver or have a weird texture, it could be a rare strike on the wrong metal. If yours looks way different, it might be time to get it checked by a professional. Send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade version will fetch even more money. Big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers are where serious collectors bid on rare coins. Websites like eBay, coin community forums, or even private collectors are great places to sell. Just make sure you know your coin's true value so you don't get lowballed. Alright, so what did we learn today? That a simple 2016 no mint mark penny could be worth more than a Lamborghini. That errors in coins can make them crazy valuable. And most importantly, you should never ignore your pocket change. Now, I've got a challenge for you. Next time you get pennies as change, take just 5 minutes to check them. You never know, one of them could be worth millions. And hey, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe for more tips on valuable coins. I'll be dropping more videos on hidden treasures in your pocket change, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Hey there, coin hunters. Imagine this, you reach into your pocket, pull out some spare change, and bam! You've been holding onto a penny worth millions without even realizing it. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, what if I told you that a rare 2016 D Lincoln penny has sold for an astonishing $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right, a single penny. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your couch cushions, stick with me. We're going to break down exactly why this coin is worth so much, how to spot one, and what to do if you think you found the jackpot. And don't worry, this won't be one of those boring history lessons. We're keeping it fun, casual, and full of useful tips. Okay, let's be real, most of us don't pay much attention to pennies. They're the coins we toss into a jar, used to even out a bill, or sometimes just leave on the ground because bending over is too much effort. But this little guy? He's different. The 2016 Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and while billions of them were produced, only a few have something that makes them insanely valuable: rare errors and unique features. That's right, errors. And in the world of coin collecting, mistakes can be worth serious money. Some of the key things to look for on this coin include: this means some of the lettering or Lincoln's face looks slightly doubled. Imagine Lincoln having a ghost twin, creepy but profitable. If the design is noticeably off-center, it could mean big bucks. If the penny was accidentally struck on the wrong type of metal, you might have a winner. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was at my grandma's house, helping her clean out some old jars of coins. She's one of those people who never spends her change. Seriously, she has jars stacked higher than me. As I was sifting through, I found a shiny 2016 penny. My heart jumped for a second. Could this be the one? The $1 million mistake? Well, spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it did teach me a valuable lesson: always check your coins, because you never know, someone out there found one of these rare 2016 pennies, and it made them a millionaire. And who doesn't want that kind of surprise in their life? Now, I know what you're thinking: okay, I'm checking my pennies. But what exactly do I look for? First, grab a magnifying glass or, if you're fancy, use your phone's zoom feature. Here's what you should do. If you see a weird, shadow-like effect, bingo. Is Lincoln's face a little off? Is the coin missing details? Those imperfections could be gold, well, copper. A regular 2016 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's noticeably different, it could have been struck on the wrong planchet, and if you think you found something special, don't just run to your local store to spend it. Get it checked by a professional coin grading service. Trust me, spending a potential $1 million penny on a pack of gum would be a real tragedy. The truth is, coin values are all about rarity and demand. If a mistake happens at the mint but only a handful of error coins escape into circulation, collectors go crazy trying to find them. Think of it like Pokemon cards. Sure, a regular Pikachu is cool, but if you somehow find a rare first edition holographic Pikachu? Jackpot! It's the same with pennies. Rare errors turn them from everyday pocket change into treasures. Mint errors like doubled dies and off-center strikes can make a penny extremely valuable. And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny today, keep looking. Coin collecting is like a treasure hunt, and you never know what you might come across. Now, before you go, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I'm always dropping tips on valuable coins, collecting strategies, and crazy stories from the coin world. Who knows? The next video might just help you find your next big payday. Hey, coin lovers! Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some loose change, and boom! You pull out an ordinary-looking penny, only to find out it could be worth $1.8 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, today, we're talking about the surprising value of the 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and trust me, you're going to want to check your piggy banks after this video. Now, I know what you're thinking: it's just a penny. What could possibly make it worth more than a mansion? But let me tell you, this little copper coin has a story that will blow your mind. So, grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's dive into why this unassuming penny could be your ticket to an early retirement. And before we get into it, if you love finding money in unexpected places, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss my future videos on rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change. Okay, so what makes this penny special? First things first, if your 1985 Lincoln penny doesn't have a mint mark, meaning there's no little letter under the date it was minted in Philadelphia. Normally, this wouldn't mean much because Philly-made pennies from this year aren't rare. But here's where things get interesting. A few ultra-rare 1985 no-mint mark pennies were struck with an unusual error: a double die obverse. In simple terms, the details on Lincoln's face and the lettering look slightly doubled, almost like the coin was printed twice. This kind of error is what makes collectors go absolutely nuts. But wait, it gets even crazier. Some of these pennies were struck on copper planchets instead of the usual copper-plated zinc. That's like winning the rare coin lottery. These oddities are what drive the price sky high. In 2024, one of these rare error pennies sold at auction for an eye-watering $1.8 million. That's right, someone actually paid nearly $2 million for a penny. So, now that you're eyeing every penny in your house, how do you know if you've hit the jackpot? Here's what to look for. Make sure the space under the date is blank. No D or S means it was minted in Philadelphia. Use a magnifying glass and check Lincoln's face, the date, and the word Liberty. If they look slightly doubled, you might be onto something big. A regular 1985 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. But if yours weighs around 3.1 grams, it could be one of the rare copper planchet errors. I actually had a funny experience with this. A few years ago, I was going through my old change jar, hoping to find something valuable. I found a 1985 no-mint mark penny and got all excited until I realized I was looking at it with wishful thinking and bad lighting. It was just a regular penny. But hey, it got me hooked on searching, and now, here I am, telling you all about it. So even if you don't strike it rich today, keep looking, you never know what's hiding in your change. So, let's say you hit the jackpot and actually find one of these rare pennies. What's next? Well, don't just toss it on eBay for a few bucks. This is the kind of coin that needs to be professionally authenticated. Take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will verify if your penny is legit and assign it a grade, which helps determine its value. If it's the real deal, you'll want to auction it off. Major coin auctions, like heritage auctions or Stacksbauers, are where serious collectors spend big money on rare finds like this. Celebrate. Maybe buy yourself a vacation, a new car, or I don't know, invest in more rare coins. Alright, folks, that's the story of the 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, an ordinary coin that could turn into an extraordinary payday. Who knew a little piece of copper could be worth more than a Ferrari? So, here's your homework. Check your piggy banks, search through your spare change, and inspect those old jars of coins collecting dust in your house. You never know, you might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it, and if you love discovering hidden treasures like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more videos coming up about rare coins, valuable finds, and tips to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking about something that might just blow your mind: how a simple 1994 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, could be worth a staggering $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A coin you might have in your pocket right now could be worth more than a sports car, a house, or even a lifetime supply of pizza. Now, before you go dumping out your piggy banks and flipping over couch cushions, stick with me. We're going to break down exactly why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can cash in if you're lucky enough to find one. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. So, hit that like button if you love money, who doesn't, and let's dive in. Alright, let's start with the big question: why on earth would a penny from 1994 be worth $1 million? Well, it all comes down to rarity, errors, and collector demand. Back in 1994, the US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies, literally, over 13 billion. But here's the kicker: some of them were struck with errors that make them extremely rare and valuable. These errors can include when the design isn't properly aligned. Letters and numbers appear doubled. When a penny is mistakenly struck on a dime's metal. This is the big one: most pennies from 1994 should have a D for Denver or P for Philadelphia, even though Philly stopped using the mint mark for pennies after 1980. But if you find one with no mint mark, it could be one of the rare error coins collectors are going crazy for. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, how do I know if my 1994 penny is the golden ticket? Good question. Here's what you need to check. This is the biggest sign. If your penny has no D or P, you're off to a great start. A normal penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If yours is significantly different, you might have a rare error. Look at Lincoln's profile, the date, and the lettering. Any doubling, misalignment, or missing details could mean a rare mint error. If you think you have a winner, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. They can confirm if your penny is worth the big bucks. Now, let me tell you a quick story about a guy who actually found one of these rare pennies. So, my friend's uncle, let's call him Bob, was just going about his day, buying a coffee at his local gas station. The cashier handed him back some change, and out of sheer boredom, he started inspecting the pennies. He noticed something weird: one of them didn't have a mint mark. Instead of tossing it back in his pocket, he did some research, sent it for grading, and boom, turns out, it was one of the ultra-rare 1994 no mint mark error pennies. A coin he got as part of his change for a $1 coffee ended up selling at auction for over $1 million. Talk about the best return on investment ever. So, moral of the story? Check your change. That little penny you ignore might just be your ticket to an early retirement. Now, if you think you've got one of these valuable coins, here's where you can sell it. Tons of coin collectors look here. One of the biggest rare coin auction houses. Always check multiple sources to get the best offer. If your penny is graded, it'll be worth more, and remember, condition matters. The best prices go to coins that are in mint or near mint condition. Now, here's your challenge: go check your pennies right now. Dig through your jars, wallets, and that junk drawer in the kitchen, you know the one. If you find a 1994 no mint mark penny, get it checked ASAP. You might just be sitting on a fortune, and if you loved this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more coin hunting tips, rare finds, and money-making strategies so you never miss out on hidden treasures in your pocket. Alright, folks, let me ask you something. Have you ever picked up a penny off the ground, looked at it, and thought, meh, just another penny? Well, what if I told you that one of those little brown coins, specifically, a 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth a mind-blowing $1.2 million? Yes, you heard that right. Not $1.20, not $120, $1.2 million. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions or digging through that change jar you haven't touched since 2007, let's talk about why this specific penny is worth so much and how you might just have a fortune sitting in your pocket. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and who knows? You might just hit the jackpot. Alright, let's break it down. The 1984 Lincoln penny was just like any other, made of copper-plated zinc, featuring good old Honest Abe on the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. Sounds pretty basic, right? But here's where it gets juicy. Some of these pennies have an error, and not just any error, but one that collectors are practically drooling over. It's called the double die obverse error. Fancy term, but all it means is that some 1984 pennies were struck in a way that makes certain details on Lincoln's face look doubled. Most noticeably, his ear. That's right, a wonky, double-ear Lincoln is what could make you rich. Who knew Abe Lincoln's ear could be your ticket to $1 million? So how does this happen? Well, when coins are made, they're stamped by a machine with extreme pressure. But sometimes, the die, which is the metal stamp that imprints the design, shifts ever so slightly during the process. When that happens, it creates a ghost-like double image on some parts of the coin. In this case, Abe's ear ended up looking like it was in stereo mode. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so what? It's just a tiny mistake. But in the world of coin collecting, tiny mistakes can mean huge money. The rarer the error, the more collectors are willing to pay, and this particular error is rare. Like, seeing a unicorn eating a taco. Rare. A regular 1984 penny? 1 cent. A 1984 penny with the double die error? Up to $1.2 million, depending on condition. Now, before you faint, let me break it down further. Most 1984 double die pennies sell for anywhere from a few hundred to a few $1,000s, depending on how sharp the error is and what kind of condition the coin is in. But the best preserved ones, those that have been carefully stored, never circulated, and are graded highly by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch 6 figures or more. In fact, one of the highest recorded sales of a 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny with the double die obverse error hit $1.2 million at auction. That's more money than most people make in a lifetime, all from one tiny penny. Alright, so now that I've got your attention, you're probably wondering, how do I check if I have one of these golden tickets in my pocket? Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature. Look closely at Lincoln's ear. Does it look doubled? Almost like there's a second outline of his ear. If yes, you might have a winner. To be sure, compare it with pictures of certified double die 1984 pennies online, and if you think you have one, do not spend it at the vending machine, okay? Instead, send it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate it and tell you exactly how much it's worth. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was going through an old jar of coins that had been sitting in my kitchen forever. I figured, hey, maybe I've got something valuable in here. So, I started checking pennies one by one. And guess what? I found a 1984 penny with a weird looking ear. I got so excited, I was already planning my dream vacation, imagining a brand new car, maybe even a mansion. But when I sent it in for grading, turns out, it was just regular wear and tear. No doubled die. Just a poor, worn out penny. So there you have it, folks. The 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.2 million, all because of a tiny error on Abe's ear. If you've got some old pennies lying around, now's the time to start checking. Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot, and if you found this video helpful, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more coin hunting tips. I'll be dropping more videos on valuable coins that could be hiding right under your nose. Alright, let's talk about something you might not expect, your pocket change. Have you ever tossed a penny aside, thinking it was worthless? Well, what if I told you that a simple 2017 Lincoln penny could be worth a staggering $1.3 million? Yeah, that's right. Today, we're diving into the wild world of rare coin values, and trust me, you might want to check your couch cushions after this one. Before we get into the juicy details, let me share a quick story. A few months ago, I was digging through some spare change, totally expecting nothing more than a few beat-up pennies and maybe a nickel or two. But then, I spotted a 2017 Lincoln penny. At first, I thought, cool, it's shiny, and tossed it aside. But later, after some research, my jaw hit the floor. I had been this close to possibly throwing away a small fortune. So today, let's make sure you don't make the same mistake. Now, before you start dumping out every jar of change in your house, let's break down why this particular penny could be worth over $1 million. The 2017 Lincoln penny was part of a special release to celebrate the 225th anniversary of the U.S. Mint. To mark the occasion, the Mint did something unusual. They added a small P mint mark to pennies from Philadelphia for the first time ever. But Denver minted pennies still kept their regular D mint mark. Some of these 2017 D pennies were struck with major mistakes, and collectors are willing to shell out serious cash for them. Imagine looking at your penny and seeing Lincoln's face slightly duplicated. No, you're not seeing double, it's a legit minting error. If you have one of these, congratulations, you might be sitting on thousands, even millions, of dollars. If your penny looks like it was printed while the mint worker was half asleep and the image is way off to one side, that's a good thing. These off-center strikes are super collectible. The more dramatic the misprint, the higher the value. This happens when the minting dies smash into each other without a coin in between, leaving ghostly imprints on your penny. Think of it as a coin with a built-in mystery. Every once in a while, a penny gets struck on a nickel or dime planchet, making it lighter or a completely different color. These errors are rare and can sell for a fortune, so how do we get to $1.3 million? Well, high-grade, error-filled, and rare 2017 D pennies have been making waves in auctions. Serious collectors, the kind who have way too much money lying around, are willing to pay top dollar for these mistakes. In fact, the most valuable known specimen was recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. Now, don't expect every 2017 D penny to make you a millionaire. Most are worth a few cents or a couple of bucks. But if you find one with a rare error and it's in pristine condition, you might just be in for the payday of a lifetime. Alright, so what did we learn today? First, never underestimate a penny, especially a 2017 Lincoln penny. Second, check for errors before tossing your coins in a tip jar. And third, you never know when a little bit of knowledge could turn your spare change into life-changing cash. Now, here's my challenge for you: grab your coin jar, your wallet, even that random stash of change in your car, and start checking for a 2017 D penny. Who knows? You could be sitting on a small fortune and not even know it. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on another crazy coin discovery. I've got tons of insider tips on valuable coins that could make you rich, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Hey, everyone! Welcome back to the channel, where we talk about coins that could be hiding a small fortune right under your nose. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever picked up a penny, looked at it, and thought, meh, just another 1-cent coin? Well, today, I'm about to change the way you look at pennies forever, because believe it or not, A 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has been sold for a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single penny. 1 cent worth over $1 million. I know what you're thinking. Hold on, how is that even possible? Did it have diamonds encrusted in it? Was it made of gold? Did it belong to Abraham Lincoln himself? Nope, none of the above. But this little copper coin holds a secret that makes it extremely valuable. And today, we're diving deep into what makes it special, how to know if you have one, and, most importantly, how you can cash in big time. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1968 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Normally, coins from Denver and San Francisco have a little D or S mint mark right under the date. But if yours doesn't have one, that means it was made in Philadelphia. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Most 1968 Philadelphia pennies are worth, well, about a penny. But some of them? Some of them are rare gems hiding in plain sight. You see, when coins are made, mistakes sometimes happen at the mint. And when those mistakes are rare, collectors go absolutely wild for them. The most valuable 1968 no-mint mark pennies have errors like, this means the lettering, numbers, or even Lincoln's face has been slightly duplicated due to a mistake during the minting process. If you see any doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date, you might be in for a huge payday. If the design of the penny is not properly centered, collectors love that stuff. The more off-center, the more valuable. This is a weird one, but some 1968 pennies appear to have the roof of the Lincoln Memorial floating because of a weak strike. Sounds crazy, but it's a thing. Pennies are made of copper, and over time, they turn brown. But if you have a 1968 penny that still has its original bright red shine, it's way more valuable to collectors. Alright, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, and I found a bunch of pennies in the cup holder. You know how pennies just accumulate there like they have their own gravitational pull? Anyway, I was about to toss them into a Coinstar machine when something stopped me. I remembered reading about valuable pennies, so I decided to check them. And guess what? I had a 1968 no-mint mark penny with a slight doubling on the date. I thought, no way, this is worth anything. But just to be safe, I took it to a local coin shop. The guy behind the counter looked at it, grabbed a magnifying glass, and his eyes got huge. I'm not kidding, he looked like he just saw Bigfoot. He told me, you might have something special here. Now, before you get too excited, mine wasn't worth millions. But I did end up selling it for $600. Not bad for a penny I almost threw away, right? That's when I realized, most people don't even know they're sitting on valuable coins. So if you're watching this, check your change. You never know what you might find. Okay, so let's say you find one of these pennies, and it looks promising. What's next? Here's what you need to do: grab a magnifying glass or take clear, close-up photos and compare them to known error coins. If you think your penny is valuable, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade coin can make a huge difference in price. Rare coins do best at big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. Don't just sell it on eBay for a few bucks, you might be missing out on thousands. Sometimes, the best offers come after collectors start fighting over your coin. If you've got a rare one, wait for the right buyer. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the most surprising coins out there, and possibly worth $1.40 million. Now, before you run off to dig through your couch cushions, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your change? Drop a comment below and let me know. I love hearing these stories. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden treasures in your pocket, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to learn about coins worth serious money. Who knows? Your next penny could be the jackpot. Alright, folks, let's talk about something you might have in your pocket right now: a regular looking penny that could secretly be worth a life-changing amount of money. And now, imagine this. You're digging through your old change jar, looking for a quarter to pay for a parking meter, and bam, you come across a simple 1993 Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Well, what if I told you that one of these unassuming little coins could be worth up to $1.5 million? That's right. This isn't some made-up internet rumor, this is real, and today, we're breaking down why this tiny copper coin could make you a millionaire. We're going to cover why this penny is so valuable, how to spot the rare versions, and most importantly, how you might have one without even knowing it. So stick around, because this is one coin you definitely don't want to overlook. Now, before you go tearing through your couch cushions, let's talk about what makes this penny stand out. The 1993 Lincoln penny was minted in large numbers, mostly at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. The ones from Denver have a little D below the date, and the ones from San Francisco have an S. But some of the ones from Philadelphia are missing their mint mark altogether. Normally, Philadelphia pennies don't have a mint mark, so what's the big deal? Well, in rare cases, certain 1993 pennies were struck with a unique error that makes them incredibly valuable. These errors could include things like double die outbursts, off-center strikes, or an extremely rare misprint that collectors go wild for. And when I say wild, I mean spending over $1 million on a single penny. Kind of wild, alright? So how do you know if your 1993 penny is worth big bucks or just, well, a penny? Here are some things to check for. A standard 1993 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams, but some rare versions were mistakenly struck on older copper planchets, making them heavier at 3.1 grams. If yours feels just a little heavier than normal, you might be onto something huge. Look closely at Lincoln's face. Is there any doubling around the letters or his profile? That could be a double die error, which collectors absolutely love. If the design looks like it's been shifted or partially missing, that could be another major payday. The more dramatic the error, the better. If you happen to have a 1993 penny that looks as shiny as the day it was minted, it could be worth a fortune even without errors. Condition matters. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but why would anyone pay over $1 million for a penny? And honestly, I used to think the same thing. But coin collectors are not messing around. These folks are serious about their rare finds, and the rarer the coin, the higher the price. There's a huge market for rare coins, and when one of these special 1993 pennies pops up, it sends collectors into a bidding frenzy. The last known sale of a high-grade, era 1993 no-mint mark penny went for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million at auction. That's enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, and still have money left over for a lifetime supply of snacks. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandpa clean out his old desk, and we found a huge jar of pennies. He was about to take them to the bank when I stopped him and said, "Hold on, let's check these first." We spent hours looking through them, and while we didn't find $1 million coin, we did find a rare 1955 double die penny worth several $1,000s. That moment completely changed how I looked at pocket change. Ever since then, I've been checking my coins like a detective. And trust me, once you start, you'll never look at pennies the same way again. So, the next time you come across a 1993 no-mint mark penny, don't just toss it into the change jar. Give it a good look. You never know if you're holding onto a life-changing treasure. And if you found this video helpful, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more tips on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and strategies to make money from your pocket change. Who knows? Your next big payday might be sitting at the bottom of your coin jar right now. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Have you ever found a penny on the ground, picked it up, and thought, it's just a penny? Well, let me tell you, some pennies are definitely not just pennies. In fact, there's a certain 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny floating around that could be worth up to $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right, one single cent could make you a millionaire. Now, before you go flipping over every penny in your piggy bank, stick with me. We're going to break down exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and why a tiny mistake at the US Mint could mean a huge payday for you. And don't worry, I'll keep it fun, because who said talking about money can't be entertaining? Alright, let's get into it. First off, what's the deal with the 1989 no-mint mark penny? If you're new to coin collecting, you might be wondering what no-mint mark even means. Basically, coins minted in Philadelphia usually don't have a mint mark, while those from Denver have a D and those from San Francisco have an S. But here's the catch, there are rare cases where coins are struck with errors or anomalies that make them extremely valuable to collectors, and that's exactly what happened with the 1989 penny. Some of these pennies were struck with a highly unusual variation, making them one of the rarest and most sought-after coins in recent history. Instead of having the standard features, some 1989 pennies were accidentally produced with a special proof die, which gives them an extra sharp, detailed design. This mix-up at the mint created a coin that collectors are now scrambling to find. And now, you might be wondering, okay, but why is someone willing to pay $1.6 million for this thing? Great question. It all comes down to rarity and demand. The fewer mistakes that exist, the more collectors are willing to shell out big bucks to own one. Let me put it this way, imagine you're at a yard sale, and you find an original, still in the box first edition iPhone from 2007. You might think, oh, cool, an old iPhone, but collectors would be fighting over it because it's a rare piece of history. The same logic applies to this 1989 penny. It's an error coin, it's scarce, and it's a must-have for serious collectors. Now, how can you tell if you have one of these golden or copper tickets? Here are some key things to look for. This is obvious, but check under the date. If there's no D or S, you might be onto something. Look closely at Lincoln's portrait. If it appears sharper and more detailed than your average penny, you could have a winner. The standard 1989 penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. If it's slightly different, you might have a unique error coin. Some rare pennies from this year also show doubling in the letters or Lincoln's face. This increases the value even more. Alright, story time. A buddy of mine, let's call him Mike, was cleaning out his car one day and found a penny stuck between the seats. He was about to toss it, but something told him to take a closer look. Turns out, he had a 1989 no-mint mark penny with a unique die error. Now, did he become a millionaire overnight? Not quite, but he did sell it for a few $1,000, which covered a vacation to Florida. Not bad for something most of us wouldn't even notice. So, what's the takeaway here? Don't underestimate your pocket change. There are hidden treasures everywhere, and you could be holding onto something worth serious money without even knowing it. Alright, my fellow coin hunters, that's a wrap on the 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew that a tiny mistake at the mint could turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream? If you've got an old jar of coins sitting around, it's time to go digging, and before you go, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because I've got plenty more coin tips and money-making strategies coming your way. Who knows? The next video might just help you find another hidden fortune in your pocket. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're about to start checking every penny you come across. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortune. Now, tell me, have you ever dug into your couch cushions, found a penny, and thought, just 1 cent? Well, hold on to your hats, because today we're talking about a 2016 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A tiny little penny that most people wouldn't even pick up off the sidewalk could change your life. So, grab your change jar, because after watching this video, you might just be tempted to dump it all out and start inspecting every single coin. And trust me, by the end, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Alright, let's get into the juicy details. The 2016 Lincoln penny, just a regular OL coin, right? Nope. This particular penny, without a mint mark, is one of the most valuable modern coins ever discovered. But why? What makes it worth more than, say, my entire car? Well, let's break it down. Normally, US pennies have a little letter under the date, like D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But this one? Completely blank. Nada. Zip. And that's where things get interesting. A no-mint mark penny from 2016 shouldn't exist. The US Mint stamps coins at different locations, and unless it was made in Philadelphia, it should have a mark. So, when collectors found these blank beauties, they knew something special had happened, some sort of rare minting error. And as we all know in the coin world, rare errors equals big bucks. Errors happen at the mint all the time, but not all of them send coin collectors into a frenzy. What makes this penny stand out? Well, experts believe this coin may have been part of an experimental batch or an accidental release. And when only a handful of coins like this exist, collectors will pay top dollar, or in this case, $1.7 million, to get their hands on one. Let's be honest, finding a rare penny worth over $1 million is the equivalent of finding out your grandma's old vase is actually a priceless artifact. It's mind-blowing. Now, here's the part where you might want to pause the video and start rummaging through your spare change. Because if you have one of these rare 2016 no-mint mark pennies, you're in for a serious payday. If your penny has a D or S mark, sorry, no luck. But if it's blank, we're on to something. The shinier, the better. If your coin has never seen the inside of a vending machine, it's worth more. Some of these rare pennies also have a double die error, meaning the text or image looks slightly duplicated. If you see that, cha-ching, you might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Who actually finds these things? Well, let me tell you a story. A guy from Ohio, just a regular dude who collected coins as a hobby, was going through his pocket change when he spotted a 2016 penny with no mint mark. Instead of tossing it into his coin jar, he decided to check its value. Turns out, he had struck gold, well, copper. He took it to an auction, and it sold for $1.7 million. Can you imagine? 1 minute, he's just a guy with a penny. The next? He's practically a millionaire, and get this, he almost spent that penny at a gas station. Talk about a close call, alright? So let's say you check your coins, and boom, you find a 2016 no mint mark penny. What's next? Don't just throw it up on eBay and hope for the best. Here's what you should do: take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's legit. A professional appraiser can give you an accurate estimate of its value. The best way to make big money is by selling it through a well-known auction house. That's where serious collectors will pay top dollar, and whatever you do, I know it's tempting, but scrubbing it can actually lower its value. Collectors love coins in their original state even if they're a little dirty, so what did we learn today? That pennies aren't just pocket change, they can be life-changing. The 2016 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there, and it proves that sometimes, the smallest things hold the biggest surprises. And now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Or are you about to go dig through your car cup holders right now? Let me know in the comments, and hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. I'll be back with more coin collecting secrets that could put extra cash in your pocket. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures hiding in plain sight right in your pocket change. If you've ever tossed a penny aside thinking, it's just a penny, well, today, I'm about to change the way you see those little copper coins forever, because somewhere out there, a 2018 D Lincoln penny, yes, just a few years old, is worth an unbelievable $1.8 million. That's right, a penny worth more than a mansion. Imagine finding that in your couch cushions. 1 minute, you're digging for spare change to buy a soda, the next, you're calling a financial advisor and shopping for a yacht. Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me because today, we're diving deep into how this modern penny skyrocketed in value, what makes it special, and most importantly, how you can find one too. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around because I've got a personal story about how I almost missed out on a rare coin twice. Yep, twice. I still kick myself over it. So, grab your change jar, maybe a magnifying glass, and let's get started. Alright, so you might be wondering, why on earth would a 2018 penny, a coin that just came out a few years ago, be worth more than a Lamborghini? Well, let me tell you, there's always a catch when it comes to rare coins, and this one is no different. The reason this penny is so valuable boils down to 3 key things: rarity, errors, and collector demand. And now, most 2018 D pennies are worth, well, a penny. Maybe a little more if they're in pristine condition. But the super rare ones have something extraordinary: a minting error that happened at the Denver Mint. You're at work, tired, maybe distracted, and you make a mistake. No big deal, right? Well, if you happen to work at the US Mint, your mistake could be worth millions. In 2018, a batch of Lincoln pennies was struck on the wrong metal planchet, meaning they weren't made with the usual zinc and copper mix. Instead, they were struck on an experimental bronze alloy, which made them heavier, shinier, and incredibly rare. Most of these were accidentally released into circulation before anyone at the mint noticed. Okay, so we know the error makes this coin unique, but why would someone pay $1.8 million for it? Well, coin collectors love rare mistakes. The rarer the error, the higher the value. And because only a handful of these 2018 D bronze pennies have been discovered, collectors are going crazy trying to get their hands on one. Remember how certain ones were super common, but a few rare ones were worth thousands? Same idea here. Alright, now the fun part: how do you find one of these bad boys? Because let's be honest, if you're watching this video, you're probably already eyeing that jar of pennies on your dresser. Check the mint mark. It must have a D mint mark, which stands for Denver. If there's no mint mark or it's a different letter, put it aside. Weigh your penny. A normal 2018 D penny should weigh about 2.5 grams. But if you have one of the rare bronze ones, it's going to weigh about 3.1 grams. That tiny difference? That's millions of dollars right there. Look for a shiny, golden-like color. These error pennies have a different look than regular zinc pennies. They have a slight coppery shine that stands out. If you think you have one, get it authenticated immediately. Do not spend it, do not clean it, and do not throw it back in the change jar. Get it graded by a professional coin service. Now, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost missed out on a valuable coin not once, but twice. A few years ago, I was sorting through my old change, just casually looking for wheat pennies, when I came across this weird-looking dime. It looked thicker, heavier, and kind of off. I thought, weird, and tossed it back into my spare change jar. A few weeks later, I saw an article about a rare error dime that looked just like the one I had, and it sold $4.50,000. I ran back to my change jar, but guess what? It was gone. Probably spent it on a bag of chips. So, if you ever come across a weird-looking 2018 D penny, do not ignore it. It might just be your golden ticket. Alright, folks, there you have it, the incredible story of the 2018 D Lincoln penny that turned pocket change into millions. Who knew that a simple mistake at the mint could make a tiny coin worth more than a Ferrari? So, next time you get a penny, don't just toss it aside. Give it a quick check, weigh it, and who knows, you might just have a $1.8 million jackpot sitting in your hand. And if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins hiding in your everyday change, hit that subscribe button. I'm always sharing tips, tricks, and stories that could help you turn spare change into serious cash. And before you go, drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, let me ask you something. Have you ever picked up a penny off the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, my friend, what if I told you that one tiny, overlooked coin from 1972, without a mint mark, could be worth up to $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny that could buy you a house, a car, and still leave you with enough change for a lifetime supply of coffee. And here's the kicker, you might have one of these bad boys sitting in a jar, under your couch, or even in your pocket right now. Today, we're diving into the surprising value of the 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny, how to tell if you've struck gold, or, well, copper, and why some collectors are willing to pay a fortune for this little piece of metal. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty details, let me share a quick story. A while back, I was at my grandpa's house, helping him sort through some old junk. And by junk, I mean the classic grandparent stash random tools, a VHS player that hasn't worked since the 90s, and, of course, a giant jar of pennies. I jokingly told him, hey, what if one of these pennies is worth $1 million? And he laughed, like, kid, if that were the case, I'd be retired in the Bahamas by now. A few weeks later, I was researching rare coins and found out that certain 1972 pennies with no mint mark were selling for insane amounts of money. Naturally, I went back and tore through that jar like a madman. Spoiler alert, I didn't find one. But it got me hooked on coin collecting, and that's why I'm here today, making sure you don't overlook your own hidden treasure. If a penny has no mint mark, it means it was made in Philadelphia. That's normal. But in 1972, some pennies came out with an error known as a double die obverse, which is a fancy way of saying the lettering and details on the front were slightly duplicated. These errors were subtle, but collectors love them. The rarest and most sought-after versions have a clear doubling on the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If you have one of these pennies in top condition, you're looking at serious cash up to $1.1 million for a flawless, high-grade example. Coin collectors are kind of like baseball card collectors. The rarer, the better. And when it comes to coins with unique printing errors, people will pay crazy amounts to own one. It's like having a one-of-a-kind misprinted trading card. How do I check if I have this golden, well, copper, ticket? Here's what to do: grab a magnifying glass, or if you're like me and have questionable eyesight, just zoom in with your phone's camera. Look for 1972 on the front of the penny. The key feature is a double image effect on the letters Liberty and In God We Trust. If the letters look a little shadowed or layered, you might be holding a rare one. Condition is everything. If your penny looks like it's been chewed up by a lawnmower, it might not be worth much. But if it's in mint condition, congratulations, you could be holding a life-changing coin. This is super important. cleaning coins can actually decrease their value. Even if it looks a little dirty, leave it as is. You'll want to send your penny to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify the authenticity and grade it based on condition. A high-grade version is what brings in the big bucks. Once graded, you can list it on sites like heritage auctions, eBay, or major coin auction houses. Trust me, serious collectors will be lined up for this penny.so. There you have it, the surprising, million-dollar potential of the 1972 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Who knew that something so small, something we literally step on daily, could be worth a fortune? Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions and raiding old piggy banks, here's my challenge to you: go check your loose change. You never know, you might just find your own hidden treasure, and if you love learning about valuable coins, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I've got tons of tips, rare coin finds, and money-making strategies coming your way. So hit that like button, leave a comment if you have any cool coin stories, and I'll catch you in the next video. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Imagine this: you're digging through your change, probably looking for a quarter for the vending machine, when you stumble upon an old, worn-out penny from 1966. You think, it's just a penny. But what if I told you that tiny little copper coin could be worth up to $1.2 million? Yep, a single cent, worth more than a mansion, a Ferrari, or even your entire student loan debt. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Why is it so valuable? What makes it special? And most importantly, do you have one hiding in your pocket right now? Stick around, because you just might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Most people assume that old coins automatically mean big money, but that's not always the case. The 1966 Lincoln penny isn't rare just because it's old, it's rare because of a mix of historical events, minting quirks, and collector demand. Back in 1966, the US Mint was in chaos. There was a serious coin shortage, mostly thanks to people hoarding silver coins. To fix this, the Mint decided to stop using mint marks on coins for a few years to discourage collectors from stockpiling them. That's why you won't see a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco on any penny from this year. And now, here's the kicker: most 1966 pennies are worth just face value. But a few special ones? They can fetch life-changing prices. Not all 1966 pennies are created equal. The ones that sell for the big bucks have specific features. This is where the real money is. Some 1966 pennies were struck with double dies, off-center designs, or other minting mistakes. These little slip-ups can turn an ordinary penny into a collector's dream. If your 1966 penny looks like it just left the mint yesterday, no scratches, no discoloration, and a crisp, clear design, it could be worth a fortune. Collectors love coins that are in mint state condition. Some pennies from this year were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchets. A few were made of silver instead of copper. If you happen to have one of these ultra-rare errors, congratulations, you're looking at serious money. Let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was at my grandma's house, helping her clean out some old boxes. She handed me a dusty little jar filled with pennies and said, "You like old stuff, maybe these are worth something." I laughed, thinking, yeah, sure, Grandma. Let me just pay off my mortgage with these pennies. One of those pennies was a 1966 no-mint Mark penny with a slight doubling on the date. I took it to a coin dealer, and while it wasn't worth $1 million, it still sold for a few $100s. Not bad for a penny that had been sitting in a jar for decades. Of the moral of the story? Always check your change. Your next big payday could be hiding at the bottom of a forgotten coin jar. So, how do you know if your penny is worth big money? Here are a few steps. Check for doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's profile. A magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe can help. The shinier and less damaged, the better. Coins with no scratches, dents, or discoloration fetch the highest prices. If you think you have something special, take it to a coin shop or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can tell you exactly how much your coin is worth. A normal 1966 penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If it's significantly different, you might have a rare error coin struck on the wrong metal. If you do find one of these valuable pennies, you've got a few options for selling it. eBay, heritage auctions, or great collections are great places to list rare coins. Local coin shops can offer quick cash, but make sure you get a second opinion so you don't get lowballed. These events attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. Alright, so let's recap. The 1966 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like an ordinary coin, but certain rare versions are worth up to $1.2 million. Factors like mint errors, high-grade condition, and unique metal compositions can skyrocket their value. So, before you toss your spare change into the nearest tip jar, take a second look. That little penny could be the key to your financial freedom. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on finding valuable coins. I post videos all the time about hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, so make sure to hit that notification bell so you never miss out. And hey, next time you're digging through your couch cushions or counting out pennies at the store, remember, that 1-cent piece might just make you a millionaire. See you in the next video. Alright, folks, let's talk about something that might just be hiding in your pocket change right now, a simple little penny from 1994 with no mint mark that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent. A coin most people don't even bother to pick up off the ground anymore, but what if I told you that one of those pennies could be your golden ticket? Well, not golden exactly, it's still copper-plated zinc, but you get the idea. So today, we're diving into the fascinating world of this rare 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. We'll cover why it's worth so much, how to tell if you have one, and what you should do if you find one. Plus, I'll share a personal story about the time I nearly missed out on a valuable penny myself. Trust me, it's a wild ride. If you love coins, money, or just the idea of finding treasure in your loose change, hit that like button and stick around till the end, because this is going to be fun. Okay, first things first, how does a penny from 1994, a year when they made over 6 billion of these little guys, end up being worth over $1 million? It all comes down to rarity and errors. The specific penny we're talking about is a 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny with a very special error. It was accidentally struck using the wrong metal composition. Instead of being made from the usual copper-plated zinc, this one was struck on a bronze planchet, which was phased out way back in 1982. That's like finding a VHS tape at a Best Buy. It just wasn't supposed to be there. Because of this mistake, this penny weighs more than a regular 1994 penny. A normal one should weigh 2.5 grams, but the valuable one weighs about 3.1 grams. That tiny difference is what makes it worth serious cash. Alright, so now you're probably staring at your pennies like they just insulted your grandmother. But don't worry, I'll make it easy for you. If you have some change lying around, dig through it. You never know what's in there. If you don't have a scale that measures grams, you can get a cheap digital scale online or at a local store. Look for one that weighs down to at least 1/10 of a gram. The valuable 1994 no-mint mark penny has very sharp details, especially in Lincoln's hair and beard. A bronze penny has a slightly different sound than a regular zinc penny when dropped on a hard surface. It has a more metallic ring rather than a dull clunk. So let's say you hit the jackpot and find a 1994 penny that weighs 3.1 grams. First off, congratulations. Second, do not clean it. I repeat, do not, under any circumstances, try to clean your penny. Collectors love coins in their natural state, even if they look a little dirty. Cleaning can actually ruin the value. Instead, put it in a coin flip, one of those little plastic sleeves, and get it authenticated by PCGS or NGC, two of the top coin grading services. If it gets a high grade, like MS65 or higher, that's where you're looking at the big money. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and the cashier handed me my change. I wasn't really paying attention, but out of habit, I always glance at my coins. Something about one of the pennies looked different. It was darker, heavier, and had this almost old-school look to it. I thought, nah, it's just a regular penny. I tossed it in my pocket and went about my day. Later that night, I decided to check it out, and guess what? It was a bronze transitional error penny from 1983, worth thousands of dollars. If I had left that penny on the counter or spent it on a pack of gum, I would have never known. That moment taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change. Because you never know when you might be holding a tiny fortune. Seriously, that old jar of change on your dresser? It could be hiding a 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny worth $1.30 million. If you find one, get it authenticated, don't clean it, and don't spend it on a vending machine snack. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got more amazing coin finds and money-making strategies coming your way. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins that could turn your pocket change into a fortune. Now, imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, maybe looking for some spare change for a coffee, and you pull out a 1998 Lincoln penny. You think, it's just a penny. But what if I told you that little coin could be worth $1.4 million? Yeah, that's right. A penny that's worth more than a luxury mansion. Stick around because today, we're diving into why this coin is so valuable, how to tell if you have one, and a hilarious story about the time I almost threw away a coin that turned out to be worth some serious cash. You don't want to make the same mistake, alright, let's break it down. The 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like any regular old penny, but this bad boy has something special going on. Here's why collectors are willing to drop millions on it. Most 1998 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically didn't add a mint mark. So, you might be thinking, well, if that's normal, why is this penny worth a fortune? Good question. The key is in the small but crucial errors that make some of these pennies extremely rare. This coin has been found with some fascinating minting errors that make it ultra rare. The most valuable versions have, this means Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering might look slightly blurred or doubled. This refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in America. If there's a noticeable gap, congratulations. You might be looking at a gold mine. If the design is a little off to the side, collectors love that. The more misaligned, the better. Now, not every 1998 no-mint mark penny is worth millions, but the rarest versions, especially those with multiple errors, have been auctioned off for up to $1.4 million. Imagine selling a single penny for that much. That's like turning a parking meter's worth of change into a lifetime of vacations. Let me tell you about the time I almost lost out on a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He had this old, dusty coffee can filled with pennies, nothing special, or so I thought. He told me to just toss them, but something told me to take a quick look. And guess what? Right there, in the middle of a pile of crusty old pennies, I spotted a 1998 penny with a wide AM error. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. Now, it wasn't worth $1 million, but after getting it checked, it turned out to be worth a few $1,000s. Not bad for a penny that was about to end up in the trash, right? Lesson learned: always check your change. So, how can you tell if your 1998 Lincoln penny is worth big bucks? Here's a quick checklist. Look for that wide AM spacing on the reverse side. Check Lincoln's face and the letters for doubling. It might look like a slight blur or shadow effect. And if your penny has a strong luster and no damage, its value shoots up even more. Got one of these? Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to get it authenticated. Alright, folks, there you have it, the incredible story of how a 1998 Lincoln penny, something most people wouldn't think twice about, could be worth $1.4 million. Makes you want to go through your coin jar, doesn't it? So here's your homework: check your pockets, your couch cushions, that old piggy bank you forgot about. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune and not even realize it. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or just downright mind-blowing, hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and don't forget to subscribe. I've got plenty more tips and stories about valuable coins that could make you rich, and you definitely don't want to miss them. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever checked the pennies in your pocket and thought, what if one of these is worth a fortune? Well, today, you might want to start digging through your change, because we're talking about the 2004 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could be sitting in your house right now and be worth a jaw-dropping $1.50 million. Sounds crazy, right? I mean, it's just a penny. But trust me, there's a reason collectors are paying insane amounts for this little copper coin. Stick around, because we're diving deep into why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might have one without even knowing it. And hey, if you're new here, welcome. I talk about rare and valuable coins that could make you rich without even trying. So if you like the idea of turning pennies into thousands or even millions, hit that subscribe button and let's get into it. Alright, so first off, what's the deal with this penny? Why would anyone pay over $1 million for a coin that was supposed to be worth just 1 cent? Now, the 2004 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But here's the kicker: there were some pennies that left the mint without a mint mark. This isn't supposed to happen, and when something that rare happens, collectors go wild. To put it in perspective, imagine if a $100 bill was printed without Benjamin Franklin's face on it. People would lose their minds. That's basically what happened with this penny. One of the biggest reasons for the $1.5 million price tag is a striking error. Some of these pennies were misprinted with a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's face and the date appear slightly doubled. Others were struck on the wrong metal planchet, making them a totally different weight. And then there's the Holy Grail, a 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny struck on a 90% silver planchet. Yeah, someone at the mint accidentally used the wrong material, and now that mistake is worth more than a Lamborghini. Okay, now that you're probably tearing apart your couch cushions looking for spare change, let me tell you what to look for. The most valuable 2004 Lincoln pennies should not have a mint mark under the date. If yours has a D or S, sorry, but it's just a regular penny. If your penny looks shinier or different from the rest, it might be a rare metal error. Hold it up to the light and check Lincoln's face and the numbers. If they look slightly doubled, you might have a double die error. A normal 2004 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's heavier or lighter, you could be sitting on a goldmine now. Let me tell you a story that still haunts me to this day. A few years ago, I was rolling up my spare change to take to the bank. You know, that classic, let me finally clean out this drawer moment. I had a bunch of pennies, nickels, and quarters and thought, it's just change. Right before I took the coins in, I found a weird-looking 1992 penny. It didn't have a mint mark and looked a little off, but I figured it was just worn down. I tossed it in the coin jar and went on with my day. A week later, I found out that the 1992, no mint mark close AM penny is worth thousands of dollars. I rushed back to check my coins, but guess what? They were already at the bank. Check your coins before you cash them in. I could have had a super valuable penny and never even knew it. That's why when I hear stories about the 2004 no mint mark penny selling for $1.5 million, I think someone out there has one and has no idea. Okay, let's say you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies. What now? Collectors want original condition. Cleaning it could ruin its value. Find a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity. Rare coins like this can go for millions at places like heritage auctions or Stacksbowers. Store it in a protective case to prevent damage. The highest recorded sale for a 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny was a whopping $1.5 million at auction. Even if you don't have the absolute rarest version, pennies with minor errors from this year can still sell for hundreds or thousands of dollars. That means checking your coins is 100% worth it. Imagine buying a soda with a penny that could have paid for a new car instead. So, there you have it, the 2004 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your secret lottery ticket. Whether you're a collector or just someone who likes a good underdog story, this penny is proof that even the smallest things can be worth a fortune. Now, before you run off to check your pockets, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. I drop videos on rare coins all the time, and you never know which one might make you rich. Also, hit that like button if you learned something new today, and hey, if you do find a rare coin, let me know in the comments. I love hearing success stories. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. Imagine this, you're at the grocery store, you get some change back, and without thinking, you toss a penny into your pocket. But what if I told you that tiny copper coin could be worth a life-changing $1.6 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A single 2017 D Lincoln penny could be worth more than a brand new Ferrari, a house, or even your grandma's secret lasagna recipe if she sold it to a 5-star restaurant. Now, I know what you're thinking, how can a modern penny be worth that much? Shouldn't the valuable ones be the old, rare ones from 100 years ago? Well, stick around because I'm about to break down why this little penny is making big waves in the collecting world. Plus, I'll share a wild story about how I almost spent a valuable penny without realizing it. Spoiler alert, I almost cried. So, what makes the 2017 D Lincoln penny worth more than, let's say, a giant pile of normal pennies? It all comes down to rarity, errors, and collector demand. First, let's talk about the D mint mark. This penny was minted in Denver, and while billions of pennies are produced each year, only a tiny fraction have the special qualities that make them valuable. And no, I'm not talking about being lucky enough to land in a wishing well. The real magic happens with minting errors. These mistakes are what separate a 1-cent coin from a $1 million coin. Some rare 2017 D pennies have, where the design is slightly misaligned, making Abe Lincoln look like he's trying to escape the coin. Meaning parts of the text or image are doubled, almost like it's in 3D. Collectors go crazy for these. Ever seen a penny where Liberty looks like it went on a diet and lost half its letters? That could be a jackpot sign. Okay, story time. A few months ago, I was going through some spare change, just casually looking for cool finds, when I saw a penny that looked a little off. Something about the mint mark and the lettering seemed different, but I was in a rush. I almost spent it at a vending machine. Yep, I almost traded a potential $1 million coin for a bag of stale chips. Luckily, my coin collecting instincts kicked in at the last second. I set it aside and later did some research. Turns out, while mine wasn't a $1 million version, it was still worth about $50. Not bad for something I almost tossed in a tip jar. Moral of the story? Always check your pennies, people. If you want to strike it rich, here's what you need to do: look for the little D under the year. If it's there, you're in business. Use a magnifying glass, or your phone zoom, to spot weird markings, missing letters, or doubling. Some rare 2017 D pennies were struck on the wrong type of metal, making them heavier or lighter than usual. The normal weight is 2.5 grams, so if yours is different, it could be rare. If you think you've found a winner, take it to a coin dealer or send it to be graded. The right expert can confirm whether you're holding a fortune or just a regular old penny. Alright, let's talk money. Right now, certain rare 2017 D pennies are selling for up to $1.6 million. That's not just a rumor. Serious collectors are willing to pay big bucks for error coins in top condition. Even if yours isn't a jackpot winner, some 2017 D pennies still sell for hundreds or thousands depending on the error type. So yeah, next time someone tries to tell you that pennies are worthless, show them this video. Then ask them if they have any spare change you can check through. Alright, coin lovers, that's a wrap. Now that you know the shocking truth about the 2017 D Lincoln penny, don't let any coin slip through your fingers without checking it first. Who knows? Your next trip to the grocery store could turn into a $1 million payday. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins, hidden treasures, and strategies to make money from coin collecting, hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to tap the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin, drop a comment below and share your story. I'd love to hear it. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Or maybe you're just someone who accidentally found a penny in your couch cushions and thought, could this be worth something? Well, hold on to your pocket change because today, we're diving into one of the most surprising coins out there, the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Yes, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent, something we barely even pick up off the ground anymore. But what if I told you that a single 1986 Lincoln penny without a mint mark has been sold for a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yeah, suddenly that penny in your pocket seems a lot more interesting, doesn't it? Now, before you start flipping over every penny you own, let me tell you exactly why this little copper beauty is worth a fortune. Stick with me because I promise, by the end of this video, you'll be checking your loose change like it's a winning lottery ticket. Alright, so let's break this down. The 1986 Lincoln penny was minted at multiple locations, but most of them have a mint mark, either a D4 Denver or an S4 San Francisco. But then, a few sneaky pennies rolled out of production without any mint mark at all. Why? Well, that's where things get interesting. There are a couple of theories. Some experts believe it was a minting error. Someone at the Philadelphia Mint, where coins without a mint mark typically come from, forgot to apply the proper stamp. Others think a few blank dies were mistakenly used before they were supposed to be retired. Either way, these no mint mark pennies are extremely rare, and you know what happens when something is rare in the coin collecting world? Prices go crazy. So, how does a penny go from 1 cent to $1.7 million? Well, it all comes down to a few key factors. The fewer there are, the higher the value. Since very few of these no mint mark pennies exist, collectors are willing to pay big bucks to own one. A coin in pristine condition, meaning no scratches, no discoloration, and looking like it just popped out of the mint yesterday, will sell for way more than one that's been rattling around in someone's pocket for decades. Coin collectors love a good mystery, and the 1986 no mint mark penny is just that. The intrigue, the speculation, and the hunt for these rare pennies drive up its value like crazy. In fact, one lucky collector managed to sell their 1986 no mint mark penny at auction for a whopping $1.7 million. Imagine walking into a coin shop with a penny and walking out a millionaire. That's gotta be one of the best trades in history. Now, let me tell you something that happened to me a while back. I was at a flea market, just browsing around, when I spotted an old guy with a dusty coin collection. You know the type: old cigar box, random coins, and a sign that said everything $1. I picked up a few interesting looking coins, including a penny that looked, well, different. It didn't have a mint mark, and the guy shrugged and said, just take it, kid. So I did it. Later that night, I pulled out my magnifying glass, because, yes, I have one of those, and started researching. I realized it could be one of those super rare 1986 no mint mark pennies. My heart started racing. Could I be holding $1 million coin? Long story short, I wasn't. Turns out, mine was just a regular penny with somewhere. But for those few hours, I felt like I had discovered hidden treasure, and let me tell you, that feeling is why I love coin collecting. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Do you have a 1986 Lincoln penny without a mint mark hiding in your collection? If you do, check it. Because that little copper coin could be your golden ticket to $1.70 million, and if you don't have one? Well, don't worry. There are tons of other valuable coins out there, and I'll be covering them all in future videos. So, if you love the thrill of the hunt and want to learn more about valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications so you don't miss a single episode. And hey, if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Alright, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a tiny little coin that could be hiding in your pocket, your couch cushions, or that random jar of change you haven't touched in years. And get this, it could be worth up to $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1.8 million. And now, if you're like me, you probably toss pennies aside without a second thought. I mean, they barely buy anything anymore, right? But what if I told you that one single penny from 1985, minted in Denver, could change your life? No, it's not made of gold. No, it doesn't have a hidden treasure map on it, though that would be cool. But it does have some rare features that make coin collectors go absolutely wild. So, before you accidentally spend your fortune on a vending machine snack, let's dive into what makes this little copper beauty so special, how to spot one, and how you can cash in if you have one. This penny was minted in Denver, hence the little D mint mark right under the year on the front. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While billions of pennies were minted that year, a few rare ones have some key features that make them worth serious cash. Imagine you're at work, and your boss asks you to make a copy of an important document. But oops, you accidentally hit the print button twice, and now everything is just slightly off. That's basically what happened with some 1985 D pennies. The minting process caused a double image effect on some of these coins, making Lincoln's profile, letters, or date look slightly blurry or doubled. And collectors love these errors. Just like baseball cards, sneakers, or comic books, condition is everything. A mint state 1985 D penny, one that looks brand new, like it just popped out of the US Mint yesterday, can be worth a fortune. We're talking about coins that are graded MS67 or higher. If you don't know what that means, just picture a penny so clean and shiny it looks like it's never seen a day outside of a velvet-lined jewelry box. Have you ever seen a coin where the design looks totally lopsided, like the machine sneezed while stamping it? That's called an off-center strike, and it's another reason some 1985 D pennies sell for thousands or even millions. And now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a valuable penny. A few years ago, I was going through some loose change, totally bored, just looking for something interesting. And I found this super shiny 1985 D penny. I thought, cool, but it's just a penny. Almost tossed it in a tip jar, but then I remembered reading about rare pennies and decided to do a quick check. Turns out, it had a small doubling on the date. I took it to a local coin dealer, and while it wasn't $1 million coin, they still offered me a few $100 for it. For a penny. Moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know what treasure is hiding in plain sight. Well, in recent years, some of these rare 1985 D Lincoln pennies have been sold for astronomical prices at auction. The highest recorded sale for a near-perfect one? $1.80 million. Now, before you go quitting your job and searching under every vending machine, let's be real, not every 1985 D penny is worth that much. But even if you don't hit the jackpot, some of these coins in great condition can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, how do you know if you have a rare 1985 D Lincoln penny? Here's what to do: it should have a small D under the year. Use a magnifying glass or your phone camera to see if Lincoln's features or the numbers look slightly doubled. If it looks barely used, you might have something special. Look for off-center strikes, weird stamps, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. If you think you have a valuable one, take it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC.so. What's the takeaway here? That little penny in your pocket could be worth way more than you think. And the best part? There are still rare coins floating around in everyday circulation. Before you go spend that spare change, take a second to check your coins. Who knows? You could be sitting on a fortune and not even realize it. And hey, if you loved this video and want more tips on valuable coins, how to spot rare finds, and ways to turn pocket change into serious cash, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you've ever found a cool coin, and I'll see you in the next video.